welcome back to the Citizen channel. That we're all staying safe and well. Another CITY130 special where we're celebrating the birth, of course, of Manchester City in 1894-95 season, and I'm recording this during the 2024-25 season, so about 130 years plus a little bit of spare change. So we call it CITY130. I'm doing it all this season with our home and away games, depending who we're playing. And today we're going to look at City's trips to Leicester. So it's a tale. When I say City, I mean City, and when I say Leicester, I mean Leicester. So because there's only one city, isn't there? No offence, Leicester, but there's only, to you there's only one city, but definitely to us there is. So we're going to look at our visits to Leicester over time, the old and the new. And I'm recording this on the 11th of December 2024. And we're due to take a trip over to Leicester on the 29th of December 2024. So as at the 11th of December, all these facts and stats are correct. So there may be changes after it, depending when you're watching it, of course. So we'll have a look at some of the history between the two cities, literally. Our league record at Leicester, the various places he played, which of course only Filbert Street and the now King Power, has been called other things of course. Played 53 times there. We've won 19, drawn 14 and lost 20. So we need to even that up, don't we, very quickly. We might have improved whenever you're watching this. And we've scored 66 goals and let in 80, so we're a bit down on that. But yeah, it's not a bad record for away from home. The 16th of March 1895, yes, was our very first meeting with Leicester. And they were called Leicester Fosse then, F-O-S-S-E, Leicester Fosse at Filbert Street. A 3-1 Leicester win, that one, so we lost that one. And they changed to Leicester City in 1919 after Fosse went out of business. They reiterated Phoenix from the ashes and became Leicester City in 1919. And they stayed at Filbert Street until they moved to the King Power, which was originally called the Walkers Stadium, of course, in 2002. Our biggest away win was back in 1937-38, just before war broke out, a 4-1 win. And our biggest loss, and we'll come back to this later on, was an unbelievable scoreline. Well, it's believable because it happened. We lost 8-4 in 1957-58, but we'll come back to this. We'll have a quick look at Eric Todd's sort of account of that game. Not so much a match report, more a report of the time, I suppose, but we'll have a look at that before we go. Managers, well, the best manager, Leicester have one league title to their name not so long ago, as you know, if you're watching this, or depending when you're watching it. And no surprise that the manager who oversaw this feat is now lauded by many as their best ever manager. Of course, Claudio Ranieri did the impossible in his first and only full season at the club. On the 13th of July 2015, Leicester City announced Ranieri as the club's manager on a 3-year contract. His appointment was initially met with scepticism all over the place. Even Gary Lineker had his doubts. Leicester were at the top of the Premier League at Christmas, having scored in each of their first 17 games. During this run, striker Jamie Vardy broke the Premier League record by scoring in 11 consecutive league matches. Opposition fans and the media alike just waited for the wheels to fall off, didn't we? But Leicester entered April still at the summit of the Premier League. On the 10th of April 2016, they clinched the spot with plenty of games left to play in the 2016-17 Champions League after a 2-0 away win over Sunderland. As April turned to May, they clinched their first ever top division title with a game or two to spare, and Leicester consistently played the same lineup that season under Ranieri, using fewer players than any other team. Yeah, so they did get a little bit lucky, but they probably deserved it, didn't they? Not surprisingly, Ranieri was named Manager of the Year for 2016 by the League Managers Association, and also named the 2016 Barclays Premier League Manager of the Season. No surprise, well deserved. But the drop-off was to hit hard the following season. By late November, the season after, the team had lost 6 of their opening 12 Premier League matches, winning only 3, conceded 20 goals, only scored 14, and were in 14th place in the table, only 2 points above the relegation zone. Despite league problems, Leicester did qualify for the round of 16 of the Champions League. They won the first 3 in that, so they did go through to that. But on 23rd of February 2017, after A first leg defeat in the round of 16 against Sevilla. Ranieri was dismissed by Leicester, with the club just 1 point above the relegation zone at that stage with 13 matches to go in the 2016-17 Premier League season. And we have a song about it, don't we? But I won't sing that now. The King Power, or as I said, it was the Walkers. This stadium opened in 2002 as the Walkers Stadium, has a capacity of 32,259, allowed for segregation, a little bit less than that obviously, and it's located less than 300 yards away from the old ground on Filbert Street. Indeed, you have to walk down Filbert Street now to get to the ground from the coaches or the trains, depending which way you approach the ground. The stadium cost not a bad amount actually, between 35 and 37 million pounds to build, which was reasonably cheap then, but not that reasonably cheap because it did have a few problems. I mean, the stadium was officially opened by former Leicester striker Gary Lineker on the 23rd of July 2002. I assume he burst out of a giant bag of crisps or something like that. But the cost of the new stadium, combined with the relegation from the Premier League, the collapse of the English transfer market due to the introduction of transfer windows, and the collapse of ITV Digital, resulted in Leicester going into receivership shortly after moving to the new stadium. Burst Construction themselves, who had built the stadium, lost a large part of their fee and they withdrew from football ground construction. Who can blame them? As part of the deal which brought the club out of receivership, the stadium's ownership reverted to American Academic Retirement Fund, TIACREF, who had supplied £28 million via a bond scheme towards the stadium's construction, with the club taking a long-term lease while the bond repayments were made. But on March the 1st, 2013, owners King Power come in and purchased the stadium. And yes, they do plan to expand. In September 2022, plans were provisionally approved for the expansion of the King Power Stadium, taking the capacity up to around 40,000. Other development projects were also given provisional approval. On the 14th of December 2023, the club announced that they had received formal approval from Leicester City Council. So did they start doing it? No, a little bit of a problem. The latest is that the work would likely begin before won't begin, was not likely to begin before 2026. So the green light is actually valid for 5 years. So they've got until the end of 2028 to start something. So we'll see how that goes for Leicester City. And thankfully they're back in the Premier League now, of course. So hopefully that may help with the development. Current manager, well known to us, of course, City fans, on the 29th of November 2024, Van Nistelrooy, also affectionately known as Horseface by us City fans, was appointed manager of Leicester on a 2.5-year deal running until June 2027. And on the 3rd of December 2024, he got his first win as a Premier League manager in the home debut game, winning 3-1 against West Ham. He followed this up with a 2-2 home draw with Brighton. As I'm recording this, that's all we've got. I've not done any further. So to finish, let's go back to that season, 1957-58, when I was just a twinkle in my dad's eye. City had beaten Leicester in a 7-goal thriller at Main Road earlier in the season in October. We beat them 4-3. And despite City being in the top 6 and Leicester in the bottom 6 when the two sides met at Filbert Street the following February, no one expected a 12-goal thriller. Though sadly, our City only scored 4 of those. Well, 5. One was an own goal of the 12. In the City versus Leicester programme on the 2nd of September 1972, The Guardian's journalist Eric Todd, a very well-known sports journalist at the time, has special memories at the game. Let's see what he had to say. So we're going back to February 22nd, 1958. The starting 11s that day: Leicester City, Anderson, Cunningham, Bailey, Morris, King, Russell, Riley, Walsh, Hines, Walker and Hogg. City's was Trautmann, Levers, Little, Barnes, Ewing, Warhurst, Barlow, Hayes, Johnston, McAdams and Fagan. Yes, and the score ended up, as we know, on February 22nd, 1958. Leicester 8, Manchester City 4. Eric Todd goes on to say, in this piece in the programme. I hope that Main Road will forgive me for including this among my souvenirs. Apart from the result, the game itself had an interest bearing on my getting my present job, so it might be an opportune moment to express belated thanks to both teams. Little did they or I realise what a momentous occasion it was going to be when they trotted onto the field at Filbert Street and I settled down in the press box. It had been obvious for some time that Manchester City's defence needed reinforcement, if not replacement, and renewed evidence was forthcoming this day. Ewing was helpless in the mud as Hines and Walsh swept into the penalty area, and poor Trautmann's pride was going to get its biggest jolt in 8 years. If Leicester had taken all their chances, they would have had double figures before half-time. As the opposite end of the field, Anderson had all the time he needed to indulge in friendly conversation with the spectators behind the goal. Only when Barlow was in possession did Leicester have any reason to look embarrassed. Even then, Barlow never got the ball unless he chased it himself. Manchester were so outplayed they were unable to feed one another. Leicester had no problem with two speedy, imaginative and hard-shooting wingmen and a generous provider of passes in Walker. Their attack moved smoothly in difficult conditions, and Morris, once of United, not only distributed the ball well, he played Johnston almost out of the game. One incident stands out in my memory. A spectator collapsed and was removed on a stretcher accompanied by ambulancemen and next of kin. By the time the little party had completed a circuit of the ground, 3 goals had been scored, and the patient and his helpers showed an understandable reluctance to leave the arena. Walsh 4, Riley 2, including an explosive penalty. Hines and Little an own goal scored for Leicester. Johnson 2, McAdams and Barnes a penalty for Manchester, who, ironically enough, opened the scoring. They also fought back at one stage to 5-4 before Leicester launched their final onslaught. Even then, the home supporters' appetite for goals was not satisfied. With pieces of banana and orange and other missiles, they pelted one of the linesmen who repeatedly flagged for offside against the Leicester forwards. They wouldn't have had crisp in those days, would they? On Leicester Station, an hour or so later, we saw a wedding party, which for some obscure reason is held to be a lucky omen among the more impressionable of our footballers. And Trautmann looked at the happy gathering and muttered, "They're 4 hours too late." There you go. That was a little look back from Eric Todd from The Guardian in the City programme. So there you go. Yeah, that season, of course, City finished 5th and Leicester finished 18th. Typical City. That was a problem in those days, wasn't it? So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this anyway, guys. This little look back, this CITY130, City at Leicester. And of course, I'll be doing these all season for different teams. I'll be doing a version for when we play Leicester at home as well, slightly different format for the home games as opposed to the away games. So join me for those. Hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you are new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, if you could press that subscribe button, it'd be great. Press the bell notifications, and all these vlogs are coming out. Everything City, past, present, as long as I can keep this voice going. So that'd be great to have you on board. And you do check through the channel, you'll see also items on film and TV, another little passion of mine. We have to have a break from football occasionally, don't we? And yeah, if you like film and TV, have a look at some of those reviews, information vlogs, the odd quiz thrown in like I do for City as well. So have a look at that. Or if you know somebody who might be interested, who's perhaps not interested in the football side, but is more interested in film and TV, if you can poke them in my direction, I'll be very grateful. And yes, if you just stay listening for a minute or two, I'll tell you all my socials, ways you can follow me, and I will follow back, etc. on the different socials. And also, if you want to support the channel, yes, I'm always after help with the channel. Might just be a case of watching a couple of adverts from me, but that all helps out in small ways, but it all mounts up. So if you want ways of helping me out, please stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed the feature, and yeah, if you can support me through the subscription, if you can subscribe, guys, that'd be wonderful if you've not already done so. We do actually have memberships at the moment, just 99p a month, so you get access to all my City stuff, including all the history vlogs, dozens and dozens not been published yet that you get immediate access to, and every time I do a edit and do a vlog, you get immediate access to it as well. So you can have a copy of scripts as well if you want any hard copy of the sort of things I do on matches and teams and managers and players, etc, etc. So if you can join the membership, that'd be wonderful. We do have sponsors at the moment. Piat6505 are our current sponsor. They have a little eBay shop, so if you check in the comments section, there's a link there to the shop. They sell movie posters from the 90s and 2000s. They sell DVDs, some classic Hollywood movies, some classic foreign language ones. And if you do see anything you fancy on there, if you do place an order, just mention me, just say Bernard sent you, and you automatically get 10% reduction in the cost of your order. So fill your boots, guys, and my thanks to Piat6505. And yeah, if you want to support the channel just by watching the ads, that helps. Watch the ads, let them play through while you just have to check your phone or something, let it play out. And of course, if you follow any of the links, that always works as well. You follow a link to one of the ads and you fancy something. I've done it myself. I've followed a link and actually purchase something from another organisation, but it can happen. It can happen. Not all ads are stuff you're not interested in. And of course, if you can give us a like, guys, that would be absolutely fantastic. All likes are much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until the next time, of course, I only ever ask one thing, don't I? Please, I ask you all to stay safe, especially you Blues. Until the next time, come on, City. Bye for now.